Yo guys, and welcome back to a particularly weird episode of the West Ham United career mode here on FIFA 15. This is post-commentary because none of the recording or none of the audio saved. The game audio saved, completely fine, but the actual in-game, what I recorded on the day of making this video, didn't. But yeah, as you can see, I'm going through the calendar here, showing you sort of the pre-season, because I simulated all the way through, because I was like, I'll get ahead of the curve here. I'll do all that, so I'll get to the Villa game. And we've made signings, but I just want to show off that we got injuries. Jack Grealish, the second I loaded into season 3, Jack Grealish had a 7-month injury. I played one game of pre-season, and John Stones got a 6-month injury or a 5-month injury. It was ridiculous. I think later down the line, and then I was going through, obviously, the new signings we made. So obviously, Sami Handanovic we got on a free. And you'll see somewhere down there, Virgil van Dijk, we managed to get in for £3.5 million. He was on the last year of his contract, I believe. And yeah, we got him on a pretty good deal. We got 18 million, I think, in total. We obviously signed Martial at the end of last season, if you remember, and we got Sam Byram, an actual West Ham signing from I think the year prior, but we got him for about 3 million. And then we're just going through it again here, all the players that we've got. Yeah, and that was about it really. We'd signed all of these guys, and we were like, yeah, that'll do. And Newcastle had bid about 4 million for Diafra Sakho, and I thought, yeah, do you know what? We'll absolutely take that. Yeah, yeah. So frustrating that I've got to go through all of this and re-record new audio. But yeah, it's just fuck it. It's so annoying. Yeah, we're getting to the Aston Villa game. And we'll I'm not even too sure how I'm going to go about doing this because it's so odd and so new to me at this point. Yeah, it's so weird. I'm not entirely sure what's happened though with the audio because I recorded fine and I'm pretty sure that my mic wasn't on mute. So yeah, just very odd in general. But yeah, as you can see, heading into the first game of the new season, season 3, we're full of optimism. We obviously want to win something. I think was the words I said. I want to win something, whether it's the league, one of the domestic cups, or the Europa League that we're in, because we qualified for that because we finished 5th in the season before. I recorded so many episodes on that in one day that it all just sort of blended into one, and this was like the final one. So maybe maybe I spaced on the recording. I literally sat there recording every single bit of this 30-odd minute video, and I was like, oh yeah, do you know what that'll do? And I must have just completely forgotten my mic was on mute. Yeah, you can see the team there. Obviously, Van Dijk went straight in because Stones was injured. Could have arguably put Tompkins in there, but I was like, nah, you can't not play Van Dijk, can you? Obviously, Handanovic went straight in. Obviously, because he's one of the best goalkeepers in the league at the minute, or according to this, he would be. Yeah, I didn't realise this G. Burke Donny was about 84 overall, and I couldn't believe it when I found out afterwards. I was like, what? Because I can't remember who he ended up signing for. But I have no idea. But he was 84 overall. I've never heard of him. But yeah, we'll get into the highlights here. So, again, a good little bit of play here, but it's nabbed by Andre Ayew, and he slips for our number 9. Ron Blah goes to the ground. You know there's only one outcome here. Paulo Dybala off the mark for the season. 1-0. And a cultured left-footed finish. He's 84 overall at this point. And we're thinking, yeah, we've got a strong start here. We've lost, I think it was 3-0 when we first played Villa. All the way back in season 1. But yeah, once he got going there, this is a composed Paulo Dybala now. A more well-rounded 22-year-old striker compared to the 19 or 20-year-old striker we first signed all the way back in season 1. But yeah, and we keep it going here. Dybala's just twisting and turning, gets round Ron Blah like he's not even there on that right foot. Oh, he just bends it wide, and it's so frustrating. That 2-star weak foot really is a killer for some strikers. Yeah, great effort though from the number 9. He's fit for the season. Knocking it about here. Valencia now has it. And we're thinking, oh, we've got space to run here. It's only Luna, whoever the bloody hell Luna is. Gets a little bit muscled, but he takes a shot anyway, and Brad Guzan just forces it wide for a corner. It's very good play though. We love that. We love exposing that right wing with Valencia. He's sort of losing overall because he's having to play there so often, but yeah, he's doing well there. Then we get the fucking Carlos Sanchez. Forgot he existed. Vyman knocking it about. It's a great ball. Oh, it's off the bar. I cannot lie. I shat myself a little bit there when they hit the crossbar. Yeah, and they start knocking it about again. It's this Luna, Donny. All the time it's Luna. And Carlos Sanchez, really good player. Fabian Delph sends me to the shops, but it's a great save from our Slovenian number one. Remember how good Handanovic actually was as we slip a ball through to a hopeful ball to Dybala. You think, nothing's going to come of this. And then Brad Guzan has an absolute moment of madness and just rolls it to him. They try hauling him down the core, but you don't stop Paulo Dybala when he's in full flight. And quite possibly the most fortunate goal we will ever score. Paulo Dybala just taps it in. It's quite something that Akore's managed to pull the shirt, because either way we'd have probably got a penalty if he'd have brought him down, which would have probably been a red card, but we get the 2-0. A penalty probably would have been better off for him the way we take him on this game. But yeah, great start. We finish brilliantly. And you think, I can't get any better than that. It does, because Paulo Dybala robs it off a kickoff. Silky little footwork to get past Akore. You think, he's got to score. Nope, side netting. I've got to be honest, I was full mast when he got past Ron Blah, or Akore even. I was like, oh my god, it's unbelievable. Yeah, corner's knocked in though. We can play it about Creswell through to Van Dijk. Pyatt picks up Noble. Is knocking it about beautifully. Too well, if anything. Paulo Dybala taps in for a third, but he is marginally offside and frustrating. He could have had a first half hat-trick. He was unbelievable in this first half. I'll be honest with you. I don't think I've ever played a more comfortable first half of FIFA than that. And as you can see, yeah, just offside. And Van Dijk picks up here, and we've got Kiarte's been subbed on. Ayew now knocking it about. Pyatt into Dybala. Little twist. Puts Akore on his arse and goes, you know what? I'll have my hat-trick. And I think that's only the second hat-trick we've ever scored in this career mode. I think we scored one with Pyatt at Old Trafford, and this is about the second one we will ever score. Yeah, a little bit unfortunate with the skill move, but Akore falls for it somehow, and then Dybala on that 2-star week foot just goes, you know what, mate? I've had enough of Brad Guzan saving every one of my shots. Have a third, mate, and another, as they say. Yeah, game carries on here as Noble wins possession. Pyatt picks it up, and then Andre Ayew with just being put in the middle and going, I'll get past Ron Blah. Absolutely not. Okay, and Brad Guzan decides to spare Villa of a fourth goal. Yeah, off the mark in the league with a cheeky 3-0 victory though. I was going to say 1-0 victory, but it just wasn't. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. We take those. I like going through the stats after the game. I waffle so much, and I wonder why these videos are like 30 odd minute long, or like 25 to 34 minute long, and it's because I just chat absolute garbage for 90% of them. Yeah, we did get an injury to Leon Goretzka. He got a 3-month injury with a broken ankle, and I think at that stage I actually just decided to go, do you know what, fuck it, I'm turning the injury severity down, because it was annoying me that much that I turned the injury frequency and severity all the way down to 35, and I felt like it was just the smart thing to do, because there's no way that's reasonable, the amount of injuries we got, especially in the first 2 seasons. We got so many, it was basically just pointless. And we sim forward a little bit, and then we did start offering some bits to like Neves and Hull for Robertson. It just didn't work. We just weren't getting anywhere with them. I really wanted Ruben Neves on loan, but it just was not happening. They wanted stupid amounts of money for him as well. But yeah, and then Hull, I just flat out refused to pay their asking price for him. But that would have been a good sign, actually. It would have improved our left back situation. But I have faith in Aaron Creswell. And then, yeah, we just sim forward a little bit more. I can't remember who we sold there. It must have been Diafra. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, it was. The Afrosako. We got 3.5 million back for that one. Yeah. I look at how lowballing I was with Hull here. They're a championship side, by the way. I was just lowballing them to absolute high heaven, going, no, I will not be falling for your tomfoolery. Yeah, and then I remembered that Goretzka was injured, so I had to play Chiarte. And then this was the bench going into this game. I no idea why I can't just sort of. You'll see later in the video that I do actually make some signings. We get some squad depth because that was the big issue I think in the first two seasons. We just didn't have any squad depth. We get a cheeky 4-1 win. Payet with 2, Noble with another, and Jarvis with 1. And finally, we don't get an injury, but Leicester managed to. But yeah, it's a great start. 2 wins from 2. And you think, oh, we're scouting new players. We're scouting young strikers, young left backs, young central midfielders. I want to buy players that are going to be good enough for now, but also vastly better in the future, like the Dybala signing, and like some of the other signings I made, like Van Dijk. But he's 25 at this stage in the career mode. Yeah, and then you can see Hull just decide to go, nah, come on then. And I noticed that Spurs have sold Lloris, and I'm like, oh, where's he gone? City, because of course he has. Couldn't go anywhere else. Had to go to another Premier League side. Wouldn't dream of going anywhere else, would they? But yeah, then we've got Palace in the upcoming game, and we get an offer for Jenko. And we were trying to sign Abu Diaby as well. I want to say it's Abu Diaby. It best be because I've signed him now, and then I've just said it. Is it? And then the worst news ever: Paulo Dybala requests to transfer, and my heart shattered at this point. Absolutely shattered into a million tiny pieces. But yeah, Abu Diaby. We were content with signing somebody that was good. I wanted to sign Xavi because it was going to cost me about 200 grand. But he just didn't want to join, no matter what I offered him. Yeah, the Barla wanted to leave, and I just couldn't. I couldn't accept it. And this is where I made a small. I say small error. It's a major error. I didn't accept. I didn't even haggle for either of these bids from Barcelona or Real Madrid that could have got me close to £54 million. By the way, but Abu Dhabi, they accepted the contract offer for that straight away. So I was like, oh, happy days, happy days. And yeah, those rejected transfer offers are quite possibly the biggest regret I'll have in this series. Yeah, we signed Abu Dhabi, a standard backup player, 30 years old, cost us 2 million. Great signing. And then we get our Europa League things and all that, and we were having a look at Leroy Ferrer, and I'm like, oh, he's on contract expiry. We'll whack a cheeky bid on here. I didn't know what to bid. Now, bear in mind, I could have paid the outright value for him. I thought, nah, do you know, we'll lowball him for the time being. I put a £5 million offering for him. So QPR won't accept, but I'll get a sort of an inkling of what they want me to pay for him. And we get another offer for Dybala. And QPR, as you can see, they're accepted. Now, this is where I should have realised that it wasn't going to go the way I thought it was going to go with Dybala. I was sort of on the verge of like, oh, I won't accept the offers and he won't go. And we rejected another one from Liverpool. In fairness, I didn't really want to sell to a Premier League rival. Yeah, those 3 offers have significantly been the downfall, I want to say, of what I was trying to achieve. And you'll see why. But yeah, as you can see, we're just going to send the offer for Leroy Fer. 78 overall, 26 by the way. I remember he was an absolute baller of a non-rare gold card on this game, and I thought, maybe Dybala's just upset. We'll keep him in the team, and for the Palace game, we'll simulate that one, and then skip forward. Zarate got the goal. Noble missing a penalty, which is just unheard of. But you will, and then Leroy Fer obviously he just wanted a better squad role, so I figured we'll offer him important. Because he probably is important at the stage of where we've not got anything left. And then We get some international duty, and Leroy Fer accepts his deal. We sign Leroy Fer for £5 million. What a steal that is, by the way. Absolute steal. Now, yeah, again, I'm like, oh, look at how much, like, look at how much we've got, and then I finally decide to put fucking Dybala on the fucking reserves if that was going to make a difference. I was like, yeah, that'll teach him. Teach you to put in a transfer request, wouldn't it? How naive. How naive I was. I just fucking dilly-dally, don't I, with squad numbers. Why do I do this? Why don't I just pause recordings and just decide, oh, do you know what I'll do? I'll trim the fat. But no, I am a certified waffler. And Paulo Dybala went for 14 million. That is why I should have just realised and gone, oh, I should accept one of these offers or counter offer for Real Madrid or Barcelona. I could have got like 55 million for him. Instead, he went for 14. It's just phenomenal, isn't it? I've been absolutely robbed by the board. They haven't even waited for me to accept another offer or for another offer to come in. They've just gone, yeah, we'll sell him for you. And I've just hilariously, Real Madrid put a £34 million bid in, and I didn't get shit all out of that. I got 20 million less. Couldn't believe it. I was so upset. I was like, oh shit, now I've got to scramble to find another striker. I've got a day left of the window. And then, what do I do? I gave Reece Burke a start in the cup against Oldham. Again, a game I wasn't fancy playing. But yeah, it's just so frustrating because you get to this stage of career mode, and yeah, we get a 3-0 win. Jarvis getting a couple of goals there, and I'm like, shit, I've got 10 hours to find another player. So I had an idea of who I wanted to replace him with, but obviously the board screwed me. But I landed on Harry Kane, and bear in mind he wasn't scouted. I put a £13 million transfer offer him, and they accepted immediately. I had about 3 hours of the window, so I was like, I'm not taking any chances here. But I signed Harry Kane. He's our new striker, our new number 9. Yeah, and we'll have a look at some young players from Tottenham. I was like, oh, he looks pretty good. Probably not a starter as of yet, but or somebody we could look at as of yet. But yeah, so frustrating when you get transfer offers through and players want to leave. I understand they want to leave, and that's calm. But the board have absolutely stiffed me by accepting the first £14 million offer. If it was like 30, 35 million, I could have probably been like, do you know what, fair. But because it was 14 million, it really it screwed me for the rest of the window. Because I had this idea in my head, I was like, oh, I could sign Griezmann, I could sign an old Ibrahimovic maybe. And I did actually look at the end of season 2 that Ibra was on a free contract, and I didn't see it until like much too late. And then yeah, I was like really convinced. I was like, oh, Griezmann will be the one I want. Griezmann will be the one I want. And then they got like 14. I got 14 million for my best player, and I was like, sick. And look how little money I have to work with now. Look at the absolute. I've Ian Bealed the bank account in terms of trying to get anything along the line here. I'm like, oh, Goretzka wants a new deal. Of course he wants a new deal now that I've got no money and my best players have just sold. So, yeah, gave Leon a new deal. I was like, happy days, mate. You go, son. You do your thing, mate. And then I obviously just, can't stop waffling and showing every individual bit of team management instead of just cutting and going straight to a new clip, because that would be too easy. So annoying watching myself like when I do these, because I've put this together now. I've trimmed all the clips, I've done all the editing for it, and then I'm sat here like I've now got a chat for 34 minutes or 33 minutes and 40 odd seconds, whatever this video is, and it just frustrates me because I could make my life so much easier if this scenario ever arose again, where I have to do a post commentary the entire way through. Because I feel like if I'm talking for like 25 minutes, I get sick of the sound of my own voice. I then get tired of talking, and I run out of things to say because I'm trying to cram it all in and make sure that I'm not disrupting the flow of the video or any of the highlights of the games behind me, because obviously going as this one, Spurs early days, Harry Kane against his old club. Oh my days, what a story. We lose our main number 9 and our new one is on the bench against his old club like a week later. Oh my god. But yeah, I hate the idea of having to talk for like 34 minutes. It's absolutely horrendous. Especially like all I do at work and in my actual day job is talk on the phone. It's all I do. And then I go home and I record these, and I'm like, oh, I've got save space, I can just record, and then I have to obviously trim the clips down to make them watchable, because I literally use the PlayStation share capture or capture thing to do every single one of these videos. But yeah, like I say, it's frustrating, but it is what it is. I think Leroy Fer making his debut here, if I'm correct. I didn't actually look at the team that I put out for the Oldham game. But Leroy Fer, I believe, making his debut against this Tottenham team. It's a pretty weak Tottenham team, isn't it? Like, realistically. Yeah, here we've got a free kick from Soldado that he just graciously gives to Mark Noble. Leroy Fer, look at him go, the little stallion. Plays it to Zarate, he's got Vertonghen ahead of him, goes, absolutely not, mate. See you later, boss man. Tries to hold him down. No, Zarate goes, do you know what? I'll pop this into the near post, and Michel Vorm's going to flap at it like a fucking paraplegic. That's harsh, I feel. But it's not great goalkeeping. It is pretty poor on the goalkeeper. I feel like Hugo Lloris possibly saves that, if I'm being completely honest with you. Yeah, we go a goal up, and who needs Paulo Dybala? I've got my Argentinian star and keep a ball here, and they just go, you know, fuck it, I'm going to absolutely oof it. IU wins it, Fer gets it down. Goes, you know what, let's go for it, lads. Valencia into Zarate. And Zarate's still going, oh, saved by Vorm. It's a great little run, though. And then we get another one, they've hoofed it away again. Creswell this time brings it down and has a look up. Sees Fer, but sees Zarate as well. He cuts inside, goes on an amazing little run, little block by Leroy Fer, an even better block by Leroy Fer for the Zarate shot, but a goal on his debut nonetheless. He really didn't want Zarate to double the lead, did he? But Leroy Fer notches in his first goal for the club in quite hilarious fashion, because I'll be honest, it's the best bit of defending that Spurs had in that entire scenario. Was Leroy Fer blocking the shot, but fortunately it fell back to him, and absolutely nothing that Michel Vorm could do about that. Little swing on swivel half volley. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? There's no better way of scoring your first goal for a club than against rivals, and he's done just that. And then we get a free kick, and I'm thinking, oh, Arsenal back end of last season. No, I've absolutely put no power on it, and it was, I feel like, far too close. But that is possibly the worst attempt of a free kick I've ever done in this game. Yeah, here we go, a little hopeful ball, and we pinch it with Zarate again. He's been so good, and he notches it again. The defender's too slow to react. And you're thinking, oh, it must be free, but he's at the post. Can't believe it. You know, you sit there and you play the game, and I'm thinking, this is easy. Bear in mind that this is like very selective clips. But what a peach of a ball that is, by the way, to find Andre Ayew. I think it was Leroy Fer again, and then Michel Vorm. That's a great save, to be fair. Could be upset with the first goal that we scored, but he can't be upset with the save there. That is a phenomenal little dive to the right. And then Tottenham have a corner right on the brink of half time with, you know, this is their first real 4-y forward, and we still managed to clear it, but not quite enough, as Walker to Rose and Paulinho goes for a little dink, and I'm thinking, oh, well, I'll tell you what, when Paulinho hit that, I was thinking, I could tell he hit it with a lot of power, but I was thinking, oh shit, I'm conceding here, because that is arrowing into the top corner, but Handanovic just goes, you know what, no mate, tipping that over the bar. Yeah, Ericsson, they work it really lovely here. Chadley and then Ericsson again, that's a brilliant save from Handanovic. He's been superb, and you've got to say, you would expect an 88 overall goalkeeper to make saves like that. But I don't feel like Adrian makes that save. And that's the difference, I feel. Yeah, we get into the last knock-ins here, and I'm pissing about with it here. I'm not entirely sure why. Ericsson wins it, Chadley takes it away. puts a ball in, and I feel like that is the best save I've ever witnessed by Samir Handanovic. You can hear the voice cracking there. Yeah, that's an outrageous stop. And we get into the final few minutes here. Paulinho is causing me so many issues. That's a phenomenal knock to Aaron Lennon, and we are so lucky to not be 2-1. That is a peach of a ball from Paulinho. And it's a great header to be. It's a great attempt. Yeah, Chiarte wins it and then gets robbed of it straight away. Chadley floats a little one in. No one quite gets there, and then Stambouli hits it. And you look at goals like that and you think, what's the point? That's the first goal that we've conceded whilst playing with Handanovic, and it does make you sort of think, have we? I mean, it's not like it. These things happen, and we've scored some goals off of some jammy goalkeeping, but you never really expect it to happen to you. And Stambouli scored the 90th from that, and I'm thinking, it's maybe because it bubbles in front of him, but it's not great viewing. And then we had to watch it about 4 times, and it just slips through. It's a comfortable save as well, really. Like if you really deep it, that shouldn't go in. But it didn't stop us getting 3 points, which is the main thing. If it stopped us getting 3 points, that would have been. I feel like I'd have terminated his contract. I'm joking. I wouldn't have terminated his contract. I don't have the actual funds to terminate his contract. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, we get a 2-1 win. We're constantly winning in the league. We're doing just about enough to get 3 points. I think we're 5 wins from 5 going into this at the back end of this episode. Fucking blimey, 26 odd minutes this has been. I'm thinking, we've got the first Europa League game. I'm looking at the group. We've got Dynamo Moscova, Vitesse, and some other random team. And then I got confused by this message because I was like, why have you got to keep telling me? Why give me the Alborg? I'll be honest, I don't know where they play. But like, why they send the email, like making it look like my job's under threat or scrutiny? But no, we're safe for a time being. I'm not entirely sure. I just sort of go off on tangents, but yeah, I do actually sort the team out in between. There was a smooth little transition. I did sort the team out in between this into our first group stage fixture of the Europa League. We didn't actually play a group stage fixture in the Europa League last year, did we? No, because we qualified for the Champions League and then we finished 3rd in possibly the toughest groups to start with, one of the tougher groups. With not a Champions League ready team, we got 10 points, which I don't think it was too bad. I'm thinking, Europa League, let's have it. And try and have a go at it this time because we got to the semis last year. But by the end of the season, we sort of phoned it in a bit when it was all going against us in terms of all the injuries and everything like that. Yeah, like I say, first Europa League game, you want to get off to a winning start, really, don't you? And Nobes leading the team out, and it did hit me when I was actually recording the episode. I can't remember what game it was, if it was Tottenham or in either the Aston Villa Tottenham or this game. I just realised every game's been at home. We wouldn't actually be at Upton Park in this scenario in real life. But this would have been the season in 16-17 that we would have moved to the London Stadium. But Vitesse with a great little chance here, and it's a great knock into the penalty area. And I think Davy Proper, does he now play for Brighton, if I'm correct? Just heads it wide. Adrian was fucking rooted. But look at this. Valencia down the line. Easy as every single time. Noble, Kane, takes a great little touch. Great few touches to get him round. He's so close to getting his first goal for us there. Did he score in the League Cup? I think he might have scored in the League Cup. But yeah, the first time we would have scored with him whilst playing. But no. Byron plays it nicely. Valencia for Kane. Lovely little link-up play. Payet here. And who's making the run is Abu Diaby, who taps it in for 1-0 in his debut. We've got a debut goal with Leroy Fer and a debut goal with Abu Diaby, the 30-year-old we signed for tuppence, really, from Arsenal. Frenchman to Frenchman is Payet, lovely playing. What a ball from Payet, perfectly weighted. And a well-measured finish from Diaby to make it 1-0. I'll be honest, I completely forgot that Abu Dhabi was actually a footballer. Yeah, unreal. What a start. and just the goal we needed. But I'll tell you what, Vitesse were not a bad side at all, and they were knocking it about well. This Ibarra was causing me so many issues, and then this is a fucking brilliant opportunity. I've rushed Adrian out to try and win the ball. In doing so, I've given them half the goal to aim for. I was convinced that they were offside, but they weren't. But yeah, Payet gets robbed of the ball here, and then again it's just playing it around here, and this Ibarra bloke again just cuts back. Oh, it's a great opportunity, isn't it? Like realistically, they've had the better chances, but we just haven't been able to defend. I'll tell you what, I'm considering signing this Ibarra bloke. He's genuinely been unbelievable. Yeah, Wallace gets it wide here. That's a fantastic knock and an even better stop, but he's about 10 miles offside. But Adrian weren't to know. You just got to save them things when they come at you, ain't they? That would have been unbelievable. But we do get off to a winning start in the Europa League, or the Euro League as it would have been, on the game, because they didn't have the licensing back here. But yeah, good start. We weren't particularly good in that game at all. But yeah, can't complain. 1-0's 1-0. Oh, 4 wins from 4 we were. But yeah, Sam Byram just thanking me for giving him his debut. Van Dijk, I'll tell you what, he's been unreal. Yeah, I was scouting other strikers in the but obviously didn't have enough time after Paulo Dybala snaked us. And then I was inquiring about certain players, and then yeah, Icardi was like, "Oh, do you know what, boss?" Inter were like, "I want 28 million." I was like, "How about no?" But yeah, couldn't believe it. I'm still reeling at the fact that Dybala went for 14 million. It genuinely baffled me when it happened, and I could not be bothered to listen to it. I was like, how? How do things like this happen? Oh, the voice is cracking. 32 minutes of non-stop speaking is grim, but Ayew and Fer getting us a win at St Mary's puts us 5 wins for 5 in the league. We are cooking. And then we get another home cup tie, I know it's not a home cup tie. We've got an away cup tie at Pride Park at Derby. I'm thinking, well, we'll put the reserve side out for this one. I think Derby got relegated in the last season. I'm thinking, oh, Massett can have a game because he's been complaining about his game time anyway. But yeah, we make a little bit of a change team. I feel like another number 10 is probably what we need. But yeah, we go into the simulating for this one. Derby away, we sim, and Kane, there we go, does get his first goal. I couldn't remember if it was against Oldham or who we had next. But yeah, Kane and Valencia getting the goals. And then we progress. We progress to the next round of the League Cup. We got to the semis last year. We want to go one step further at least in this season. Yeah, now we're at the crunch time part of the episode, because I'm not playing the Man City game because we played the 3 games. That's how I'll sort of judge it. I'll simulate however many games I deem necessary. Yeah, sorting out the team for a game I'm not going to play. Call me just a fantastic YouTuber. Yeah, if you've enjoyed this one, this post-com version of this episode, because of stupid technical glitches and hiccups, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, hopefully we can get this finished before FC26 comes out. Really, really hopeful we can. Yeah, cheers guys. Thank you so much for watching and bearing with me talking shit for 34 minutes. Cheers. Peace out.